What's good on the hood? Coming at you with a different type of video today. Due to the lack of upcoming fights, at least here over in the States, UFC, etc., for the next 5 or so weeks, we're living in the dark ages over here. I'm going to be doing some new videos based on some throwbacks of monumental fights. Now, I'm not going to just strictly pick fights that were amazing, and I don't have the privileges from Dana, old Uncle Dana, to rewatch these fights and talk over them. So it's gonna be a mix of recapping the fight, but also, and more importantly, looking at the impacts of them and kind of the timeline since the fight. And no better way to start than Jan O'Malley, UFC 280, because let's be real, these two are, to a degree, at the top of the spotlight going into 2026 for the bantamweight division. So without further ado, this fight, if for recap, Jan was coming off his double series to Sterling. His no brain man just didn't have any critical thinking skills when he blasted that knee, and then he lost the split decision. So he was the number one contender at the time, but was riding a unusual streak, loss, no decision, win against, I believe, Corey Sandhagen in between for an interim belt. But yeah, he was a former champ, but coming off a loss. Sean O'Malley on the reverse side was in a weird mix of he had a no decision due to some eye pokes, along with taking his first career loss to Cheeto Vera due to leg spasm kicks. That perennial nerve. It is a painful one. But nonetheless, it was unusual. Sean ranked 11, Peter, he was the number one contender, still ranked number one. Crazy matchup ranking wise, especially people thought just Sean was not ready. But nonetheless, looking back, he did a pretty good job for what he was facing against. Um, Overall, the fight was a mix of grappling on Peter's side, where Sean instead favored a heavy striking game. For the most part, Sean, I would say, had the better on the feet, but Peter went toe for toe every time he got rocked. He countered well. He countered well in the second round, countered well in the third round. First round was a little slower, but again, Peter relied heavily on the takedowns. But definitely the takeaway coming out of this was Sean was a sniper. He caused damage. This was the knee that ended up busting Peter open in the third round. He was gushing blood. So as the fight was actually wrapping up, Sean, although also equally getting cracked, didn't look like he has much damage. If anything, all the blood was spattered from Peter's cut. So Sean did very well in this fight. But most people thought, I think, Peter won. He was kind of like that veteran. He relied on the takedowns, and as we saw, as recently as a few weeks ago, along with his crisp boxing, tight guard, and heavy kick game. But as fate has told us, Sean is he's a company man. Dana liked him. He was on the rise. He needed one win to get a title fight against Sterling, and lo and behold, he got the split decision. You can see by Peter's sad face, he was devastated, and I think most were. I mean, the overview was pretty tight. Total strikes only a six strike difference in favor of Peter. Takedowns. This was the big factor. 6 for 13. Oh my. My dinner drinks are coming up. 6 for 13, 0 for 1. So Peter deceptively became a damn good wrestler, as if we didn't already know. No submission attempts or reversals. It doesn't seem to be his game, nor is it really Sean's. Significant strikes, I will say, these seemed heavily skewed. Looking back, because I saw this fight live, and I remember the strikes were definitely an advantage of Sean, but I don't remember it being a 26 margin. I feel like some of those numbers are a little inflated, but nonetheless, and also I think there at least was one knockdown, but maybe it was like only a half drop to the knee. Round one, it was definitely Peter's round. It was tight on the strikes, but he got the takedown. And again, I don't know why a $1 billion company can't include control time. Peter got around like 2 minutes, I think, of control time with some ground and pound. So it was not like he was just laying like on him like a wet blanket, like some of the champions of today do. Dot dot dot. Round two was definitely, as I look at at me notes. Round two was one of the more impactful ones. Sean hit him with a nasty two, and Peter within 15 seconds hit him back with a counter. They were both rocked. Takedown again on. Well, he got 3 takedowns to the fight. So again, Jan reliant on heavy counters to dish back any damage. Total strikes were heavily in his favor due to the ground and pound, and he got all his takedowns. So it was another round that was probably in his favor. Round three was the one that leans towards Sean, even with these company marks. Given the inflated total strikes and inflated significant strikes, 40 to 15, I do not remember being that skewed. This round was crazy just for, as I showed you, the knee. Jan was bleeding. Clean head kick land. Jan wasn't as successful as his takedowns, 2 for 7. But he got a few counters at the end of that round. A couple ones that, spun Sean's jaw. Even then, if you score this round one was close. Jan, I think, got it. Round two, it was close. Jan got it. Round three, you could give it to Jan, but probably Sean just for pure damage, especially in the visual. But as I go to MMA decisions, this is where it's a travesty. This is crazy. I mean, only one media scored at 29-28 O'Malley. And like I said, we look at the official scorecards, 10-9 first round, 10. So two of the judges gave O'Malley the first round, and three of all the judges gave him the third round. Like I said, third round, if you rewatch it, damage, if you're scoring off damage, yeah, O'Malley probably won it. The first two, if you factor in the ground and pound and the takedowns and the control, Jan should have gone in. Like I said, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can't count. 20, 25. At least it looks like 25 judges or media outlets, the pros, the Joes, the pros. Like 25 of them gave Jan 2 to 3. And these guys might be a little crazier and off their bandwagon, but 7 of them gave all 3 rounds. Like this is, and then we go to the people, because at the end of the day, we're the fans. We dictate this stuff. Look at this, 46% nearly picked Jan 3-2, or was it 2-1? Oh, he got 3 rounds, 2-1 on the scores. Another quarter of the people said he won all 3 rounds. Sure, some people looks like they picked O'Malley to win. A quarter of them, and then yeah, so was it 75% of fans thought that Jan won? That's a pretty big margin. 6,000 scorecards submitted, not too shabby. Um, but why is this so impactful? Well, for Jan, this was the start. Well, not the start. This was the continuation of his losing streak. He would end up losing to Marab again. Well, what am I saying? Hopefully, he doesn't lose again. He ended up losing to Marab, so he was on a 3-fight lose skid after being both an intern and a undisputed champ at bantamweight. Sean would go on to challenge Sterling for the belt and hit him with this blurry yet nice counter two, and go on to win the belt and defend it once. So for him, it was I don't want to say the Cinderella rise, because he did have a loss leading into that and a no decision, and this was many considered to be one of the biggest robberies of all time. But nonetheless, Sean proved himself, was able to defeat Sterling, who at the time was pushing bantamweight GOAT status, still might be in that conversation. And yeah, Sean was a superstar. He got the belt. He ends up obviously losing it to Marab, that devil Marab, who the moment Sterling lost, it gave Marab the access code to not have to challenge his best friend. He went in there, demolished Sean twice, went on his nasty win streak. Fast forward to only a couple of weeks ago, Jan reemerged from the darkness. He was on a 3-fight losing streak. Some would say that while the Marab one he lost to the first time, 50-45, was bad, the Sean O'Malley one was just, it made you question when you see those decisions. You start to think, damn, like is there an outing for me? Like we see these bad decisions, and they always seem to favor, like someone they're trying to push. If it's not like a Peyton Talbot, he'll probably get one down the road. Sean O'Malley, John Jones, that bony boy. Obviously, a lot of the Caucus boys, Dagestani boys, Volkanovski. That goddamn, he should have won that one in Australia, but it is what it is. You get my point. Petter was in this position, I feel like, where he was no longer the hot commodity. It was Sean, especially now and then obviously because they never really wanted Sterling in the first place. But he hustled. He got 3 wins back, and he got his fourth this at the end of this year. He came back, as you probably all know at this point. He went and he beat he was able to beat Marab, put on a GOAT performance. Now he's considered. Some are saying he should be considered a GOAT because the O'Malley loss really shouldn't be on his record. The Sterling loss, very close split decision. The Marab one was the most legitimate one where he lost all 5 rounds. He said he was hurt. He said he was healthy this one. He went in, he 50-45 Marab. So he wrote the wrong. Just as if you think of other GOATs such as GSP, we consider them the GOATs because sure they have 2 losses, but they went back and they earned those rematches and they went and they demolished their opponent either 50-45 or they went and finished them. That's what makes it GOAT, is the ability to years later come back and prove their game and get the win back. So while this fight was obviously terrible for Peter, great for Sean, 3-4 years later, fortunes have shifted. Jan is the top dog in this division right now, and Sean's in a position where now he's on, what is it, a two? He's on a 2 skid right now. He's lost to Marab twice. He's fighting Song Yadong come January, while obviously Peter's enjoying the spoils of his war. But and this is something I'd like to see. I made a video where I think this is a dream fight, regardless of what. Because I assumed this might be a rematch that was going to happen down the road, as a contender fight. But thanks to the lovely Fight Basics, please don't sue me, sir, ma'am, whoever you are. I'm gonna steal your nice poster for a sec. This seems to be the future we're gonna get. Why, you might ask? Marab, he might take some time off. He fought, was it 4 times, 4 title defenses, took a lot of damage, and he knows that he's probably getting an automatic rematch regardless when he comes back. So I don't know if he necessarily needs to rush back in. And on the flip side, you have Sean O'Malley, who's still a massive name across all weight classes. And while he's coming off 2 losses, they're to Marab, and Marab's no longer the champ. Peter's the champ, and he has a win over Peter. And if you know how this business goes, no different than WWE, no different than any other sport, entertainment, etc. A rematch with more stakes, it always sells more. And this was the fight of the night when they first fought, and some would probably put this in the running of fight of the year back then. But to have 5 rounds instead of 3, to have one for the belt now, and on top of this, to put this on the White House, American champ. Well, I guess Sean's Irish, but he's American at this point. American champ versus Russian champ. You can't write this any better. So who would imagine that after such a robbery? And I will say, Peter doesn't seem to be super enthusiastic about this, but Sean's in a really good position where Song Yadong, top 5, never been KO'd or anything. If Sean can come back and get that aura back with one of his step back KOs, a little bit of fake no look jump shot, whatever shit he likes to do, he's, especially on the first Paramount card, he's gonna be so high up just on the fact that they're gonna have a larger audience, and if Sean can do that on the main card, Dana's gonna seriously consider, hey, Marab earned it. Marab deserves this rematch, but we can give Marab, we can give him kind of like what they're doing with Armin. They can put him on hold and just say you're guaranteed a title shot, but business has dictated that Jan's going to fight, in the White House, and Sean is fresh, and the rematch, it's going to sell more, which it will. At the end of the day, as I said, this is a business, and Sean versus Peter 2, perhaps at the White House, will sell more than Peter versus Marab 3. And frankly, I don't even know if people want. I mean, I do want to see it, but in some ways, it's not as compelling as this fight. You also know this fight will most likely be striking. With 5 rounds, based off the damage they committed with 3 rounds, we should expect a finish. And Peter has never been finished. Sean's been submitted, but he's never been KO'd. I mean, he's had the perennial leg kick, but that's an asterisk. So this could be a crazy turn of events for their timeline. And if Sean, well, I don't know if he can get a trilogy out of this. The trilogy is kind of tricky. Yeah, maybe the trilogy is not going to happen. It's almost impossible to happen. But nonetheless, this could be a very interesting play out come June if Sean can pull off the win and Peter's willing to wait, and if Peter has the sway and Dana is only thinking about money, I think this is gonna be the climax to this robbery that happened a few years back, and I'd be very happy for Jan because I'm gonna root for him. O'Malley's great. He's good for the business, I think. He's very unique, colorful hair and all, face tattoos, yucky, yucky. But yeah, if they can book this back, 5 rounds no less, put it on the White House. It's not gonna be the main event, but it could be the co-slash. It could be the feature fight, something like that. Third fight out. But put them on the card, and oh my god, it's gonna be a war. So everyone's gonna appreciate. But if Jan can right the wrong and do this, it's gonna continue to build his GOAT status. He's already people are considering up there on the GOAT status to begin with. But this is a loss that while he can never probably get the Sterling loss back unless he wants to chase him at featherweight, this is something he can get back, and he can get a nice feather on his cap by finishing or even KOing O'Malley. So that's what I'm starting to feel is what the trend will be. Obviously, Song Yudong, please don't be this painful roadblock, you dong you. But yeah, this has been on my mind for a while, just because these two have been very much in the how should I say the news. Obviously, Sean's return after a tough back-to-back loss, and Jan looks like he's better than he's ever been. So let me know what you think. Let me know any fights that you'd like to pick. I have a few more coming up, but it should get interesting, especially as we get close to the Paramount era and more fights are announced too. Like, subscribe, comment, and keep an eye out for some more later this week.